since I was a kid, I've been like you.
What up, YouTube? Staccato XC, but this ain't just the factory Staccato XC. Y'all might not know yet, but you'll get to know. I'm not a I'm not a Safe Queen type of guy. I don't care how much it was or how nice it was or whatever. To me, they're tools meant to be used, and typically, to be honest, the more it costs, the more I want to use it and get my money's worth out of it than let it, sit in the safe.
I like them. I like them.
So, you can go anywhere on YouTube these days and find a, fresh ship from Texas Staccato XC video, fresh out the box, and it is what it is. This isn't going to be that type of review. My type of review is I've put 5,000 plus rounds through this. I'm gonna give you my thoughts and experiences and what I've done to it. And maybe you could take some inspiration on what you do to yours or what you could look forward to if you ever want to get one and want to change things and things that I can tell you some of the things that I would have done differently versus some of the things I'm super happy with and I would have changed them day one instead. First being the grip module. The grip from Staccato is decent, but it's not aggressive enough in my opinion. But yet it is scratchy on your stomach when you carry it. I personally, yes, are a lot of people that get these gonna carry them? Not really, but for me, I like carrying it a lot. They've been duty rated many times over. Tons of police forces have these in their approved list. I even personally know a U.S. Marshal that carries one of these, so I think that's pretty badass. On duty and off. So anyways, let's just go top to bottom what I did. I went with the SRO, my personal favorite optic, nice big round window. And I got the shroud on there. That's the Jagerworks Bros. They're battle ready optic system, I want to say. And then I went with the X300 Turbo because in my opinion, carry guns should have lights, at least for the most part. You can get away with it, if you're not doing anything too crazy and you're just running out to, run a couple errands during the day. But I personally prefer rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it, just because the gun is still the same length. So the footprint when you're carrying it is no different. You don't really notice the weight at all. At least I don't. I've tried carrying with and without, and I just prefer with. And then I went with the antimatter wing on there. And what that is the gas pedal. So on a race gun, they put these big frame mounted gas pedals on there so you could push down with your support hand and then you have no recoil at all. Honestly, on this gun, it's pretty overkill, I will say. You're not going to get recoil, as far as muzzle flip on a gun like this, even without it. But with it, it's just pretty crazy. And I like every little advantage I can get. If this is already going to put you in open class if you're a USPSA shooter. So if you're gonna be in open class, you might as well take every little advantage you can get. I personally love the antimatter wing and I put it on a ton of my carry guns. And then for the trigger, I went with the Atlas trigger. It is crazy. So there's no take up, that's all the take up. Crisp break, like right at 2 pounds. So trigger's insane. It's gonna be faster than you are. However fast you can get the gun to shoot is how fast it's going to shoot. You never have to worry about like, did I make that split fast enough because of, I need to upgrade the trigger or I need to upgrade something on the gun? No, the answer is going to be you just need to get good. At least that's what I tell myself. And then for the grip module, I went with the Extreme Shooters, their Dragon Scales grip. Love this grip. It's super aggressive as far as like when you're holding the gun, but it's not at all when it's on your stomach, which is nice. I never really get any irritation. I've carried this for a long time, and I'm a big fan, so shout out to Extreme Shooters. I do have a discount code with them as well. You can check that out. And then I went with a little goon tape just because, it's like 80% humidity here in NC, so it's nice to have something to absorb a little bit of sweat, and it's also for the vibes. And then Taran Tactical flared magwell, just because, when you're reloading, if you're already going to have, like I said, a gun that, is basically an open gun, you want to just not have to think about as many things as possible. And with between the mag well and the trigger and that wing, you don't have to think about good fundamentals on the trigger, you don't have to think about good fundamentals on your reload, and you don't have to think about any good fundamentals on your support hand grip. So this gun, obviously you can't buy skill, but you can buy performance, and something like this checks all those boxes. So who is it for? I would say it's for someone that wants just like, I want the most badass carry gun I can get. Check. I want to flex at the range and have a lot of fun and shoot crazy fast splits and bill drills. Check. You know, if you're like me and you like to talk a lot of shit with your buddies on the range and whatever, and this is what you want to pull out to, you know, whoop on them, to be honest. And yes, they are going to say, well, you know, if I had that, I would shoot better than you. And, you know, and you're going to say, yeah, I bet you would, but you don't, and you aren't. So, you know, hold that bill drill. So anyways, yeah, obviously. And one other thing I want to talk about too, for a pistol, these are stupid accurate. And matter of fact, I've been checking out this C-Zone steel we got out here at like 125-ish yards. And I just wanted to go see if I couldn't ring a couple of bullets on that for you guys to show you it's more accurate than any pistol you'll ever need. Obviously, is there any sort of real world application for 100-yard plus shot with a pistol? No, of course not. But you know, this hobby isn't always about practicality. In fact, most of the time I would argue it's not. You know, at the end of the day, you do want to come out and have some fun and do something that you wouldn't normally do. Like, you know, we could all go buy a subcompact, like, you know, I don't know, a Hellcat or something, and that's all you have it for. You carry it, go to the range, you plink a couple, you know, you shoot the target at 7 yards at an indoor range, and that's all shooting is for you. And if that's the case, there ain't nothing wrong with that. I'm glad you're still thinking about protecting yourself. And but for those of us that want to push things to the limit, have fun, and you know, try and surpass our limits, that's what something like this is for. So let's see if we can't, I'm not sure if you guys can even see on that left-hand side there, but we've got a C-Zone steel at about a little over 100 yards, somewhere in there. So see if we can't just pop a couple. So we got one out of 3, and you know, not too bad, but obviously for something like this, you should get none out of 3. It's, you know, you shouldn't be able to shoot 100 yards without having to hold crazy. Just to put this dead in the center and get your hits is more than enough in my opinion. But I appreciate y'all coming through. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see more. I'm actually going to do a different video on this here soon. 2-gun video. I did a 2-gun match for this. I got 9th out of 37, my very first 2-gun match. I ran this and a Blackout defense rifle. So if you guys want to see some more on that, that'll be coming up here shortly too. So don't forget to stick around to check that out. But yeah, guys, appreciate you coming through. Staccato XC, but this ain't your stock Staccato XC.